Hey guys, finally I'm on Patreon again. Been busy, it's a Christmas time and Thanksgiving time and everything in between, and I'm busy with music and tours and records and lessons, you name it. And today I thought I'm going to share something that I've learned at a very young age. I think I was about 14 when I learned this. When I grew up in Ukraine. I grew up in Ukraine, and there was a jazz guy in my town that everybody knew about. And I wanted to learn a couple of things from him. And one thing that he played, he learned from a book. I forgot the book's name, but he showed me, without knowing what he was doing actually, he showed me things like that. For example, if you have a G major chord, let's say, right? G7, right? Right? 1 and 7, right? 1, 3, and 7. So you have a chord like that, right? Right, so you have a G. And then you go by chords forward or backwards, it doesn't really matter. So if you go, right, these are the chords. Let's say I'll just play from these chords, 1 and 3rd from each chord. Right? Right? Now, the way I learned from him is basically these kind of chords. And so on and so forth. So you connect, as you see it on bass here, it's all chromatic, right? So right? And here, as for those who know, I'm using the minor 7 flat 5 chords in between. So if you have a G major 7, then you go to the G sharp, and you have a C, the flat 5 here, and then go to the second chord. The same chord, identical. Right? If you analyze with that, my phrasing, to this day, I use that. Even if I play jazz or blues or whatever, you name it. For example, let's say I'll go to, from this chord, from the first chord to the second chord. Right? So I do. Right? So what I did here. See? Again, I'm doing the first chord. So on and so forth. So what I'm doing the diminished scale. However I use it, it's minor thirds. So imagine this, you divide your scale from 1 to the 8th note, right? In equal numbers. So if you divide it on half, on equal to halves, you have a sharp 4 in the middle here, right? So if you have, and you have a sharp 4, that's an equal distance, right? And then you divide on, not on 2, but on 3 even length, right? In this case, you'll have the minor thirds everywhere. That's what I do. So. And so on and so forth. Why I'm using this? Because this is a really important thing in movements. Movements is something that's been used in medieval music and in music overall up to Chopin and so on and so forth. Then it's forgotten and conservatories don't teach that. So movements is about, it's not about scaling, right? It's about connecting the intervals, for example, right? So if you have, right, and then you do things like that. See what I did? So for example, if I have melody, right? So what I've done here on 6 intervals, I connected with that kind of chord, right? See what I'm saying? And then I can do a lot of intros like that. So for example, like Bach would. See? Like that kind of interesting interval again. Right? That's what I do. Right? Very musical thing, right? And that's how you make interesting movements. Right there. Right? And that's how you create the movement going further and further and further. These are kind of the tricky things that I've been using all over. If I play, let's say, Coltrane, and do the same things, right? Right? And I'm doing this. Right? That's, and so on and so forth. That's how I connect. I know it's a lot of kind of interesting ideas here right there. You can probably dive into this and probably find something else for you. But what I do here is when you have a distance, you divide the distance as an even 3 parts, right? And that becomes a minor third. Sometimes if you do, let's say, a whole tone scale, for example, right? Things like that. It still will go as a dominant, right? It's up to you to use it how you want to use it, right? And I do this all the time. See how I do this? That's a phrase. Basically, I'm doing this kind of like a flat 9 to the G, but I don't think that way. I actually don't like to think these flat 9s and so on and so forth. I know it's explained this by jazz theory, but it's actually not that useful in creativity. It's good in mathematics, but not good music. But if you use as length and you divide in equal space, that makes sense, right? So we have. And so on and so forth, a phrase like that. Beautiful sounding, right? Because I like the 6, the major and minor 6. Another thing I wanted to explain also is that when you do phrasing, especially if you do like runs, things like that, in blues, let's say. Right? Now notice what I do here. Calculate the number of notes in the sequence, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? This is what I do all the time. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1. Right? Right? these are 5-note sequences phrasing. So 5 and 3 are very magical numbers. Even if you listen to Bach, let's say everybody knows Bach, and let's say I do things like that. So on and so forth. Just notice the number of notes. Da, 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 da. Then going back, da, da, da. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So 5 and 3. These are the magic numbers. And if you think about the numbers that are magical, are always uneven. So basically we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. And so I think that progression is kind of known, right? But these are the magical numbers. And Bach uses this in phrasing, right? In order for you to practice that, try to do, let's say, pentatonic in blues, right? So let's say in E minor. Right? So you go, right? So this is a minor pentatonic. Right? Calculate the number of notes you do in the phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5, 5. Right? Right? And that's the magic in phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sounds kind of easy, but that's very important. These are nuances. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I do all the time. It's 5, 3 notes, 9 notes, 11, 13. These are more complicated, but to start with, you should try to do this. So again, let's say an E and an A minor, right? Right? These are all 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1. Always end up on 1. Even here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do enough. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll end somewhere. Okay? Right? So you get the idea. Try to do these runs forward and backwards. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? And you have these phrases, very interesting ones, okay? Okay? Try to do this. All of that is 5 phrases. Okay? So try these 2 things, and then when you combine them, then you have very interesting things. For example, if I go in blues, from A minor to the D, either major or minor, it's up to you, I'll use that scale plus these phrases, right? So Okay? Hopefully it helps, and I'll think of something else, and you can ask me questions as well. That's why I'm here on Patreon. So get around. I have shows coming up soon. Stay tuned for those who are interested to see me in the show. It's gonna be fun.